Welcome back, one and all. Thank you so much for joining us here on Gameyaaad TV. I hope that you are doing well out there. We have been getting a lot of hells. Boy, I'm telling you, sometimes you feel like you just want to run and hide, but you can't hide. You just have to face up with the reality and then, try to put some things in place for us, to do better. Now, there are a lot of talking points out there as it relates to the West Indies team. As you know, we would have been beaten 8-0 by Australia. And, after that, watching that, 27 all out, and you can go back and watch that video. I would have said to myself, one of the questions that I really asked myself sitting at Sabina Park, is it the last time I will be seeing Australia, touring the West Indies? And that's a question that remains in my mind. It's a very serious question, viewers and subscribers, because this is, all right, let us look on the facts, right? I didn't expect West Indies to win any of the test match, and that is, I was hoping that we could have won even one of the test match. But in reality, when you look on the numbers, on the squads, the two squads, it would be very difficult for West Indies to even win a match. But I think that 27 really changed the narrative of that, series, because our bowlers would have done extremely well, right? And there is no two-way about that. And I think that 27 in the second innings at Sabina Park just changed the whole narrative of the test series, because prior to Sabina Park test match, I would have had West Indies being competitive for 5 of the 7 days out of those 2 tests at Barbados, because we played 3 days at Barbados, 4 days in Grenada, right? And West Indies would have been competitive for about 5 days. Generally, like the last day, of those 2 games, that West Indies would have, lost, the entire day worth of, cricket, or being competitive in those 2 days, right? Coming into Sabina Park, we would have done well with the ball. We bowled under the light, right? And it was something spectacular to watch. Even though, as I would have said, I was really worried for the Australian batters batting on the light, because it was the boys, they were just, especially Alzarri Joseph, they was just cranking up the pace, and it just looked very dangerous out there, to be honest with you. But I think the whole narrative changed when Mitchell Starc and Scott Boland ran through, West Indies, batting order in that second innings at Sabina Park. Now, moving on to the T20 internationals, I'm going to be honest with you, I was expecting to win even 2 of those matches, right? But we were beaten, we were whitewashed 5-0. Right? And I'm just looking back on all the L's that we would have gotten. We went to England, we got L's, not only the men's team, but the women's team went there, got L's. The women's team, got hell, back at home against South Africa in the ODIs. I think we would have won the T20 matches in the series, but the A team got L's, right? And it's just a lot of L's we have been picking up, for 2025, right? But a lot of people are giving up on West Indies cricket, and I can understand them for that. But we have to face it. Our team is just not good enough, right? And we are going to look on the details. I have been saying that our bowling attack lack penetration, lack penetration. And part of the reason why our West Indies bowling attack lack penetration, we do not have specialist bowlers going into these games We cannot be relying on all-rounders to take wicket for us. Because, all right, let us look on it. We have all-rounders like Matthew Ford, Romario Shepherd, right? Jason Holder. And to be honest, to be fair with Jason Holder, I think he has been the best bowler in this Australian T20 series. He was our best bowler, right? We brought in Jedediah Blaze, which I was rooting for Jedediah Blaze for some time now. I know he has the talent, right? But at this level, he will have to learn. Your best ball will be hit over your head for 6. That's just the reality of international cricket. But the question is, how do you bounce back from that? Do you run and hide like how West Indies would have hit Akeal Hosein in the final match? Or do you face up with the reality and go out there and try to do better? Are our team improving as a team year by year or even series by series? Those are some of the questions we need to answer. And I mean, a lot of people, everywhere you go on internet, there is a call for Sammy to be fired. But is that the solution? Think about it, people. Is our team good enough to play consistently at this level? And to be fair with you, there has to be some accountability by the board, by the head coach and everybody, and even the players, right? There has to be some accountability. But we need to make our team better going into this World Cup. And I mean, our batters, they are, on and off, as you know, and that has been some time. We are very inconsistent. Our middle order did not fire in this series. And if you look on Australia middle order fire right throughout these, T20 games. So that's a difference between Australia and West Indies. And to be fair to the West Indies, and I mean, this video is kind of erratic, I'm all over the place, but just try and understand what I'm trying to say, right? But Australia middle order has really helped them along with their bowlers to win these. And I mean, Cam Green has been superb in the series as a middle order batter. Tim David, when he was called upon, was exceptional, right? Josh Inglis at the top, he does what he is there to do, right? And I mean, you have players, Mitchell Owen in the middle order again, as a debutant, he really played well. Our middle order was a no-show for the West Indies. So how can we win matches? Our fielding has been poor, our catching poor. So we would have looked on all the issues. How do we fix these issues, right, going forward? Darren Sammy is under pressure to win this Pakistan series. That's the first step we are going to take in terms of moving. Because remember, the 2026 World Cup is just around the corner, and that will be one of Darren Sammy's acid tests. These bilateral series, that's not my acid test for Darren Sammy. And I mean, there are a lot of calls for him to be, I mean, it's just his first series, right? We cannot be doing these things, right? Give the man a chance for him to prove himself, right? His acid test will be this T20 World Cup, right? This is one of his acid tests, right? And for the test series, I will be looking back on his tenure when the World Test cycle ends in 2027. So I'm not one of the persons who will call for Darren Sammy to be sacked, right? This will be very important, this T20 World Cup for Darren Sammy, right? How do we build a better team for that series? And my issue with Darren Sammy, we are going to play against Pakistan, and I haven't seen where you would have called up anybody else different. So you are telling me that you believe in these group of players, and that is fine. But I think we need to have some specialist bowlers going into the T20 World Cup next year. We cannot be going in. Our all-rounders are not penetrative, right? And I must commend them also for getting 4 wickets in the power play against Australia in the final T20. That was superb. But the penetration that we lack, we would have seen that. We have them 60 for 4, right? After 4.4 overs, right? And we were able to only get 3 more wickets for the rest of the game. That's poor. We have to have a killer instinct mentality. And part of the reason is that, we do not have the specialist bowlers to do that. So Darren Sammy, you need to get some specialist bowlers. I already said we can look at Nathan Edward. I mean, he might be a bit young, but I mean, he's and Jedediah Blades would be in the same age bracket. So that's somebody we can look at. He's a player that can, challenge both edge of the bat, right? He can swing the ball, and that is part of the reason, why, playing Matthew Ford in the last game doesn't make sense, right? Because we don't play him in the power play where we will get a little bit of swing out of the ball. And what do you expect that Matthew Ford will do? Matthew Ford can only perform in swinging conditions. We don't give him the ball up front. What he's going to do in the middle overs? Takes licks, and that's what happens, right? So Jedediah Blades looking good, has a lot to learn, right? And I'm really happy that Darren Sammy would have given him a chance there. But as I said, moving forward, we need to have some specialist bowlers, right? We have to be better in the field. We cannot be dropping so many catches. We would have seen it in the Test series, and it also spilled over in the T20 series. Now, in terms of our batters, right? Going into the next World Cup, I think we would have done well in the last World Cup in the West Indies, and a lot of people might say that we would have overachieved, and that may be right. But I think having lost Andre Russell and Nicholas Puran, they would have left a gulf in our middle order, and middle to top order, and that needs to be filled, right? So it's gonna be a difficult task for us, because those two batters, those two players, they are world-class players, right? And I think we have to just train some other guys to play those two roles. I think as I said, Shea Hope for me in this T20 lineup, I think he's better at the top. I don't know if Darren Sammy wants to play Casey Carty at number 3. Casey Carty just have some big fundamental problems, right? And they would have tried Ruston Chase at number 3. He played well in the first test, in the first T20, and not really performed throughout the rest of the series, right? I'm wondering if we could drop Shea Hope there, but I'm saying Shea Hope is better for us at the top. But that creates another issue, because Evan Lewis, and that creates an issue for Evan Lewis and also Brandon King at the top. But I think I'm not going to make this video too long. Going into Pakistan series, we would have seen Shamar Joseph coming in. I don't think Shamar Joseph learned the craft of bowling white ball cricket as yet, but he's learning. Currently his economy is about 9, which is very poor at this level, so he needs to work on his craft. Alzari Joseph may not featured against Pakistan. He has played a lot of cricket, and I have been saying this to Darren Sammy, we cannot be playing Alzari Joseph so long. He will be injured. As much as he's very fit, but the body needs rest, and we have been playing Alzari Joseph for too long, right? And I've been saying that you can go back on the podcast. I have been saying that we cannot be playing Alzari Joseph. I know he is very fit, but we his body need rest, and see it, he would have picked up, and hope that it is not a major injury that will, put him on the sideline for quite a while. I think I also want to make another point. I think this CPL series will be very critical for us, right? Darren Sammy will need to pay keen attention to this CPL competition, because we need some batters and we also need some bowlers, to bolster our team as we look towards the T20 World Cup in 2026. So CPL will be very critical this year for us, right? We need also a leg spinner in the team. We also need a leg spinner. I mean, I know that the leg spinning option is dying in cricket, but we need a leg spinner. We need somebody who can attack the game and prize out some wicket. I know leg spinner at times can get, a few boundaries off them, but they are very attacking and they always create, the opportunity for us taking wickets. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will, stop here for now. Please enjoy the rest of the day, and best of luck to the West Indies as we, move into this Pakistan series. All is not lost. We just need to regroup and come again.